Hi, my name is Diana Britton, Executive Editor at Wealth Management. I'm here with Michael Belluomini. He's the Senior VP of Mergers and Acquisitions at Carson Group. Michael, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
This is definitely, M&A hot topic. It's a lot of people want to hear about it. Where do advisors most commonly misjudge their firm's value?
I mean, not all assets or revenue is equal. An easy way to explain it is if you have a firm that's got mostly institutional business or 401k plans, and you're billing on those assets at 20 or 30 basis points, that's very different than an advisory account where you're charging 1.5%. So really the value of the firm lies in the underlying EBITDA or cash flow, which can be very different for firms of similar size and assets.
And why can two firms with similar AUM and revenue have very different enterprise values? I think you talked a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think the biggest driver that we're looking at is organic growth rate. And I think it's fair to say that any of our competitors here are probably looking at the same triggers. So if you have a firm that is growing with the market or stagnant with the market, I should say, and another firm that's consistently adding new assets or has new flows every year, that firm's going to be inherently far more valuable. There are a lot of other subjective items too. I mean, demographics of the client business. Are you mostly in distribution? Are you still in accumulation? Do you have a really talented G2 advisor that can take the business over when you ultimately want to retire? Do you have a really attractive niche market maybe that you have a proven process at attracting new business? So I think there's a lot of other things that we would look at, but by far, when we scorecard out a deal that we're looking at, that organic growth rate outweighs everything else.
Yeah, I think, you hear the stats about organic growth in the industry. It's not, it's not great. Hard to find firms that are actually growing. But why is organic growth kind of so important in that valuation context?
Yeah, it really comes down to the math of the deal. So theoretically, and I'm going to nerd out here a little bit, if you look at EBITDA and you put a 10x EBITDA multiple on the business, if your math's right, that's a 10-year break even for a firm like us or any of our competitors to invest in that firm. But if you have a firm that's growing at, let's just call it 6% or double the market average, exclusive of market, and they're going to continue growing at 6%, maybe we can do a few things to get them to grow at 7 or 8 or 9%, you're going to grow that out of that multiple and you're going to bring the effective price that you paid down. So a 10x isn't really a 10x, it might be a 7.5 or a 5x if all things go really, really well. So more than anything else, when you look at that organic growth rate, you're making a bet that they're going to continue that or accelerate with the help of the tech stack and marketing and services we can provide.
Yes, I think a lot of the firms, want to be, considered by buyers. Sure. And, what can they do to, improve their own value drivers and make them more attractive to buyers?
I think spend a year cleaning up the business. So I think the best business is a business that is ready for a transaction, that maybe doesn't have to pursue a transaction. There are a lot of things you can do to remove any sort of personal expenses from a P&L, or make sure that your staff is optimized for growth. Make sure that you're not understaffed if you are going to tell a firm that I'm going to come online and grow at 10% a year. But more than anything else, just don't be complacent around having an actual business development mindset in the firm. I think when you look at us now at 18 years into a bull market, it's easy for an advisor to be complacent, and you can grow without really doing much. So if you can focus on actual business development, growing the business through attracting new clients, preventing any sort of outflow of lost clients, and trying to attract new wallet share from existing clients, you will inherently be more valuable and more attractive to most of the firms that are active in this space.
That's great. That's really helpful. Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully we'll enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Diana.